Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Trucker Legend. Actually, let's go and cut it because I'm not that much of a trucker anymore. I'm still in logistics. I still have my trucking company. I'm just not driving the trucks. So from now on, I'm gonna go by AC Legend. At AC_the Legend on Instagram is where you can find my page, where I mostly talk about entrepreneurship, business, credit, funding, startup businesses, things of that nature. So let me get right into it. I wanted to make this recap video because it's been 2 years now since I made a video for you guys, and I feel awful, but I've been really busy just trying to create the life that I want to live, the life of my dreams with my family and my youngin'. So sorry for being absent from you guys, but I promise it's going to get better. And not only am I going to be talking about trucking, but I'm going to start specifically talking about entrepreneurs and how to make money, how to start your business, how to leverage your credit so that you can go out, buy your own truck, start your own authority, and do some of the similar things that I've been able to do within logistics and beyond. Let's get to the point though. The reason why I made this video, here is my honest review about A&R Logistics, why I quit, why I left A&R Logistics, and it's probably not for the reasons you thought it was going to be. So let's get into it. So first off, as you guys know my journey, for those who have followed me, I had ended up getting my CDL. I showed you guys that piece, and I had got my own truck and my own, and I wanted to get my own authority right after I got my CDL, but I ended up failing. I ended up running out of capital after purchasing my truck, which, by the way, I haven't made a dollar with still to this day, and I still own that truck, believe it or not, for reasons we don't even need to talk about. That's a whole another video. So once I did that, I ended up working for A&R Logistics, and it only lasted about 7 months. I worked there for 7 months. Honest review, A&R Logistics isn't a bad company if you like to work hard. See, if you're the type that just want to back down and swing doors, A&R Logistics is not for you. A&R Logistics, for those who don't know, I was transporting resin, which is just plastic pellets, little materials inside of a pneumatic bulk tank. That's right, and you don't need your tanker endorsement to be able to drive these tanks, but the training is kind of intensive because you do need to learn how to use, to be able to pressurize your tank so that you can pull resin either from a rail car or either push resin into the silo once you get, to where you're delivering to. So here's one thing about A&R Logistics. You got to get up on top of the tank. So if you're afraid of heights or you don't like being up, it may or may not be for you, because you have to get up on top of your trailer. You got to, be able to lift some metal, a little bit of metal that you're going to be moving with the hoses. There's hoses involved you got to carry. I mean, they're about, I don't know, maybe anywhere between 25 to 60 pounds. So nothing too heavy, but you will be working with your hands, and you will have to attach and unattach and learn how to work the a pressure and keep your pressure in your tank, right? Because it can be very dangerous, right? When that tank is full of pressure, if one minor mistake, you can, pull open a cap. That cap could blow out and, potentially strike somebody else. So there is a little bit more risk dealing with this pneumatic tank because you have to deal with a pressurized tank. So it's nothing to be afraid of. A&R Logistics gives great training, I would say, especially if you're with the right trainer. They give you great training on how to be able to work so you can go out there, operate very safely. So I worked out of the Columbus hub, which was a decent hub. There was always drivers in and out. I mean, turnover on drivers right now is crazy anyway, but specifically with this type of job, if you're not used to it, it's just something that you got to get used to. And I know a lot of drivers out here, they don't want to get used to anything. They want to do what they know how to do and keep it like that. And that's totally fine. I enjoyed A&R Logistics, one, because it felt like my experience going straight into driving a tank. I think it gave me a lot more experience on the road, because driving that tank is a little difficult, especially when it's empty. I mean, that thing slides a lot, it's swinging when it's wet out. It can be hard to control. But I like driving the tanker first, because I felt that once I told other people I drove a tank and they seen what I was doing with the pneumatic, I feel like it put me an edge over other drivers in the market, because I knew how to drive a specific trailer, right? And I knew how to operate it. So I feel like that piece was really good. One thing I did not like about the job was going into the rail yards every morning. So for those who don't know, it takes about 2 hours to be able to load up your trailer. And like I said, you have to do the loading, not with your hands. Like, and I'm not moving product, but I'm pressurizing the tank, and I have to sit out outside my truck and watch the tank to make sure that it doesn't clog up, because that could be a very bad issue. Or the pressure doesn't go so high that, one, it can either melt the material in there, which is a very big issue, or two, even worse, it clogs up and you don't catch it, and it causes the pressure to blow a pipe or something of that nature. That's never happened to me, but trust me, it's something that definitely could. So I didn't like the fact that it was such a hands-on job, and it was a mental job too, because you mentally have to be prepared to even do something like this. And then three, the blower, which is just it's a part of the system of the pneumatic tank, is loud as hell. So I don't know how long people could actually work that job and like be able to keep their hearing at a high level, because it is really in your ears. And they give you, obviously and they tell you to wear headgear, ear protection to be able to help that, but still, that like whining and that high pitched noise is like something I still hear to this day, and it's been 2 years since I left the company. Some of the great things about A&R Logistics was, one, my sign-on bonus was pretty good at that moment. Like I said, it was 2 years ago. The market was, it wasn't all the way down. It was like coming down from when it was in the peak moment from the 2019, 2020-ish. But the sign-on bonus was really well. I felt like the dispatch team treated us with a lot of respect. There's not that many people that work in our hub, so that made it easier for everybody to be treated as a human and not a number. So I really enjoyed that piece about it. You got to have a good relationship with the brokers, the dispatchers. I definitely like that. Some things I don't like about it. Another one of the biggest issues is you're dealing with these products that, like I said, is resin. So it's these plastic pellets that they're going to make milk cartons and water bottles and car bumpers. So depending on where you're delivering to, some of them were very specific to how your trailer pulled in, and they will have you held up on your trailer for no reason, especially if it was like a milk carton or water. If it had anything to do with people consuming food or beverage, they were really, really strict on the trailers. And sometimes you would drive all the way out there, they might deny you, turn you around, or just have you sitting there wasting your clock, not even able to unload because they're just like working on paperwork, or they're testing the sample, or they're doing this or they're doing that. So I didn't like that, because there were days that I would be hoping to make it home, but we know in the trucking industry, there's not one day that's exactly the same. But it'd be one of them days where you're really looking forward to getting home, and you get held up at trying to offload some product, and something goes wrong with the sample, or they need another sample, or something just happens. So it's one of those jobs. It's literally you're pulling up to different places to deliver. If you're not on a specific route, which typically you wouldn't be, you might get some of the similar routes every single day, especially when you get some seniority. But when you're new in there, you're fresh, they're going to send you all over the place. And then you start getting into a groove where they'll say, okay, hey, I see you like going up to this spot over here, so I'm going to try and give you that every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So you can kind of get used to and accustomed to the schedule and how things go, the flow of it, and learning that situation. So here's why I quit. The big issue. I quit because I got a better opportunity. What happened was, I was out on the road. I was about 8 months in, And I got an opportunity up in Toledo, Ohio, to help one of my friend's companies, which obviously is logistics, to help him with the contract that he had. So at first it was funny because I helped this my friend initially with like some of the marketing and graphics that he did for his business. My wife Nadi actually helped him with managing his logistics company and the hubs. So I was already familiar with his business. I was familiar with him, great friend of mine, one of my best friends from college. And he told me, hey, I need you up in Toledo, Ohio. I got a contract up there and I need help finding drivers. At this point, we're only doing box trucks. Actually, it's only 16-foot box trucks, and we still run these contracts to this day. So long story short, he ended up offering me, a deal to come up there, help to be able to find him drivers. So I came up there with like 5 drivers. We rode up there. I seen what the situation was, and then I actually seen the opportunity that there was more that could be done and more value that I could add. So I proposed to him, me and my wife proposed to him, yo, we can help manage this thing. What we want to do is we want your company to subcontract our logistics company. And he agreed to the terms. The first week we were out there, we probably made like, I don't know, $5,000 or so. But eventually we start getting up to $10,000 a week, $20,000 a week, $18,000 a week, $25,000 a week, $20,000 a week. And we ended up running this contract through the whole peak season. It lasted about 3 months. We hit our first 6 figures in 2 months. So in 8 weeks, we already hit 6 figures. So obviously I didn't turn that away. I didn't turn and look back to A&R Logistics at all. After that, I just left the company. I didn't even go back to get my stuff out the truck. So whoever got my truck next, you guys were gifted. And if you see this video, it's all good. You guys were gifted a diesel Garmin. That was in the truck. I had some exclusive, same area, high school, duffel bags and stuff like that in the truck. But it's all good. All my wires, cords, cables, all types of stuff. I had a little setup in there. I didn't even go back and get it, man. We ended up making enough money for me to not look back on it. And I'm definitely grateful of it. Definitely was blessed with the opportunity. There's a power in relationships. There's a power in networking. There's power in all that, as long as you can know that you can provide the value. So yeah, long story short, I'm still doing those contracts temporarily during the season, peak season. Obviously that's going to be around Christmas and all that, when there's a lot of stuff getting delivered. So during peak season, we go in there for about 4 to 5 months. This year we were able to hit our first 100K month. Hey, listen, y'all, before I got into trucking, I was dead broke. I didn't have nothing to my name. I was like a freelance entrepreneur. I was a starving entrepreneur. So this video is for anybody who's out there who's just trying to make a way. Sometimes you have to, I wouldn't even call it settle, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do to provide for yourself and your family if you have one, and go and get that job, which may be less rewarding. It may be more time consuming. Thankfully, I was already broke coming in. So when I got to A&R Logistics, making $1,200 to $1,500 in my pocket a week was pretty good for me, until I seen the green light when I started making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, $60,000 a week. But I'm grateful for the opportunity that A&R Logistics got me. But yo, this is AC Legend, and this is the reason why I left A&R Logistics. Hey, I'm glad to be back on here, man. Make sure if you catch this video, go ahead, like, subscribe, share this joint out, share this message. A&R Logistics is not a bad company to work for if you're ready to put in the work. So yeah, shout out to my peoples that I met at A&R Logistics that we still connect and we still close to this day, man. Yeah, appreciate you guys for tapping in. Thank you.